Hi, my name is Terez, Paylor. I cover the Chiefs for the Kansas City Star. Here's my colleague, Sam Mellinger. He's our columnist. We're here to talk about the Chiefs' big 31-7 win over the Giants on Sunday. Sam, you wrote a great column on Dexter McCluster's big punt return. Talk a little bit about that and how it felt in the stadium. It seemed like it really changed the momentum of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to look back and you see 31-7 and think it was a blowout, but at that point, it was anybody's game still, and the Giants were right in it. You didn't know when Victor Cruz would strike next, and Andy Reid had a really great challenge on the third down play that was originally called a first down, and brought it back, forced the Giants to punt, and that was, for a lot of people that have watched the Chiefs for a while, that sort of brought back memories of Dante Hall's punt return against the Broncos, I think 10 years ago, with a few blocks in the back as well that helped Dante there. But, with McCluster's punt return, it was his first and the Chiefs' first since his rookie year, his very first game in the NFL. That one was all blocking. This one had a lot more Dexter McCluster, and it made a lot of people miss and really turned that entire game. I mean, you sort of felt Arrowhead really come alive at that point and become more than just sort of a bricks and mortar stadium and back to it just kind of felt like again the kind of building that can win a game or two. So looking ahead now for the Titans game, I think that the big story out of Tennessee obviously is the quarterback injury. Jake Locker out with a hip injury. He's been really terrific, hasn't turned the ball over. Chiefs fans know a lot about his backup, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm curious how you think that's going to change the game this weekend.
I think it's interesting because I got a chance to talk to former Titan safety Blaine Bishop yesterday. He said he's been watching Jake Locker progress through the years. He said that the guy's been looking great this year. And when you got a quarterback that's kind of made the leap, as it looks like Locker has so far, it's obviously a big loss when you lose the guy. I guess fortunately for the Titans, they get to insert Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's 4-1 for his career against the Chiefs. His big issue is that he's had some good games throughout his career. He's shown flashes of being a capable NFL quarterback, but his problem is turnovers. And against this defense, they're aggressive. They play man outside. He's going to have to make plays, I think, down the field. I don't know if he can do that. He's going to have to prove people wrong. He's going to have to show that he can do that if the Titans want to win. I do think it's going to be an interesting game, though. This is a physical team, especially on defense. I think their front seven is really good. Keep an eye on the nose tackle, Jarrell Casey, the big kid from USC. He's an impact down lineman in this league for the Titans. And I think he's really going to give the interior line of the Chiefs something to account for. Sam, they got to go to Tennessee this week. We know that the Titans have a physical front. This is going to be a good defensive test for them. Do you think that the Chiefs can continue to move the ball in the way they have, with these short passes and kind of running the ball, in decent chunks, but nothing big yet? Can they score enough points to win in Tennessee doing that?
I think they're going to have to play a little bit differently than they have so far. But I don't think anybody really knows at this point much about the Chiefs' offense because we can talk a lot about not throwing the ball downfield and Jamal Charles hasn't had the Jamal Charles 82-yard run that we've become accustomed to. But at the same time, they've done everything they've needed to do. Mm-hmm. I would be a lot more worried about this Chiefs' offense if they didn't the last 3 games, and the only reason it's not 4 is because they played Jacksonville in the first week. But the last 3 games, they've done that whole foot on the throat thing in the fourth quarter, and they've gotten the yards when they absolutely needed to, and running the ball when the other team knows that they have to run the ball. So that to me is a good sign that everything that offense has been asked to do, they've done. And with the defense playing the way that it has and a couple plays on special teams, really the Chiefs have been protecting leads for about the last 12 quarters in a lot of ways. So, I'm encouraged by that, but they can't win 12 games like this. I think they are at some point going to have to open it up.
I would agree, and I'd also say that, given their record, it almost feels like a little bit of nitpicking. Totally. They're not going deep enough. They're not. At the end of the day, like you said, they've closed out teams. As long as you can do that in this league and play defense the way they do, I think if they can continue to have more big plays, to show the ability to hurt teams downfield occasionally, then at that point there's nothing really to nitpick, right? Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. You can check out our Chiefs coverage at kansascity.com. Follow me on Twitter at /Terez Paylor and Sam at /Mellinger. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.